Lenny the lion cub lived with his pride in the heart of the jungle. Lenny had a big dream. He wanted to be the king of the jungle. But Lenny was afraid of many things. He was afraid of the dark. He was afraid of loud noises. He was even afraid of little bugs.
One day, Lenny's father, the current king, was talking about a brave lion who saved a zebra from danger.
Lenny was amazed. He wanted to be brave like that lion. He wanted to be a king who everyone admired. Lenny knew he had to do something about his fears. He couldn't be king if he was afraid of everything.
So, Lenny decided to go on an adventure. He would face his fears and become brave. Lenny packed some berries for the journey and set off into the jungle. He was a little scared, but mostly excited. This was his chance to become the brave lion he dreamed of being. Lenny walked through the tall grass, the sun warm on his fur. He had never been this far from his den before. Everything was new and exciting. He saw colorful birds he had never seen before. He saw monkeys swinging through the trees.
Lenny walked for a long time. He started to feel tired. He sat down under a big tree with juicy red berries growing on it. As he ate the sweet berries, he heard a voice.
Well, hello there, little cub.
Lenny looked up. The tree was talking to him. "Who's there?" Lenny asked, his voice trembling a little.
He was surprised to hear the tree chuckle. It sounded like the rustling of leaves.
I am Baobab, the wisest tree in the jungle, the voice boomed. What brings a little cub like you so far from home?
Lenny, mustering all his courage, told Baobab about his dream and his fears. Baobab listened patiently as Lenny spoke. When he was finished, the wise tree said,
Bravery isn't about not being afraid, little one. It's about doing what's right, even when you are afraid.
Lenny thought about this. It was a new way of looking at bravery. He had always thought brave lions weren't afraid of anything.
"But how can I be brave when my paws shake and my heart races?" Lenny asked, looking down at his trembling paws.
You face your fears, Baobab said. Each time you face a fear, it gets a little smaller. And the more good you do, the braver you will feel.
Lenny felt a surge of hope. He could do this. He could be brave.
Now go on your way, little cub. The jungle is full of opportunities to be brave.
Taking a deep breath, Lenny thanked Baobab and continued his journey. Lenny walked for what felt like hours. The sun was high in the sky. He was getting very thirsty. Then he heard the roar of water. He came to a wide, rushing river. The current was strong and the water roared angrily.
"I'm afraid of water. It's so big and powerful, I want to turn back."
But he remembered Baobab's words.
"Face your fears."
He knew he had to cross the river to continue his journey. He carefully dipped a paw into the water. It was cold and swift. He took a deep breath and took a step into the river. The current tried to pull him away, but he dug his claws into the muddy bank and kept going. Step by step, Lenny crossed the river. It was hard work, and he was scared, but he didn't give up. Finally, he reached the other side, exhausted but proud. He had faced his fear and won. Lenny shook the water from his fur and continued on his way. He was feeling much braver after facing the river. He was starting to understand what Baobab meant. Being brave wasn't about not being afraid. It was about doing what needed to be done, even when you were scared. As he walked, he heard a whimpering sound coming from high up in a tree. He looked up and saw a small monkey caught in a hunter's trap. The monkey was scared and hurt. Lenny knew he had to help.
"I have to help."
Lenny quickly climbed the tree, ignoring the way his heart pounded in his chest. He had never been good at climbing trees. He carefully approached the monkey, talking to it in a soothing voice. He examined the trap. It was a snare, trapping the monkey's foot. Carefully, Lenny used his sharp teeth to gnaw at the rope of the snare. Finally, with a snap, the trap sprang open and the monkey was free.
Thank you so much. You saved me.
The grateful monkey showered Lenny with thanks, licking his face. Lenny climbed down from the tree, feeling a new kind of courage. He had faced his fear of heights and helped someone in need. He realized that helping others made him feel braver than he ever imagined. He was no longer just a cub who was afraid. He was Lenny, the brave lion. Lenny knew it was time to go home. He missed his family. He walked back through the jungle, his head held high. He wasn't afraid anymore. He had faced his fears and learned that bravery was about helping others. When he reached his den, he told his father all about his adventure. His father listened patiently, nodding his head. When Lenny was finished, his father smiled.
You have shown great bravery, my son. I am very proud of you.
Lenny felt a warm glow inside. He knew he had a long way to go before he could be king, but he was on the right path. He had taken the first steps towards his dream, and he knew that with every act of bravery, he was one step closer to becoming the king of the jungle.